You know, when I first did this, I did a train-the-trainer at Unity on Greenville, which is in Dallas. A woman there who was leading a men's group, and he was also a graphic designer. And I said, I need a logo. Would you do a logo for me? So he came up with all these concepts. And the idea, what I gave him was, I said, I want something that represents parts to a whole. Like the sum of our parts is greater than the individual parts. Like the sum of us is more than the individual parts. So I sent him off to create a logo, and he sent me back this thing with these dandelions. And I thought, oh, okay, dandelion. I thought, well, that's pretty. But you know, if I'm going to have it be my logo, I need to do some research and make sure it's not like a poisonous weed. You know, like, what is the symbol that's going to represent this? So I did my online research, and I started learning about this amazing little weed. Beautiful flower. So the thing to know about dandelions, one, the thing that I loved about it was that everyone thinks it's a weed and tries to get rid of it, when actually it is a vital part of the ecosystem of the world. So dandelions are the first pollinating plant, so the bees need them. If you get rid of all the dandelions, you lose that opportunity for those pollinators to do what pollinators do. It's like the basis of our civilization. We need those dandelions. And the other thing I learned is that a dandelion is a type of flower. It's called a compilation flower, where the head of the flower is actually hundreds of little tiny flowers. And each seed that you see is a seed from one of those flowers. So when it goes to seed, you have all these flowers compiled into this one amazing blossom. And I thought, well, that's a great, you know, it's a healing, it has healing properties. You can make tea out of it, you can make wine out of it, you can do all kinds of cool things with dandelions. I thought, okay, that's perfect. And the other thing I loved about it, and you may have seen this in the video, is that after they blossom, so there's this beautiful process of blossoming, and if you've seen a field of dandelions and all the yellow everywhere, it's just stunning. So there's this amazing, dazzling bloom, and then it kind of shrivels up, and it looks dead. It looks dead for a couple days, but then it transforms. And as I was watching these slow motion videos, I'm like, you know, our movement has had a blossoming. You know, there was an era where this concept was new, and churches sprang up everywhere. 1920s, 1930s, Charles Fillmore getting the word out, and this movement blossomed. And we have been sort of riding the wave of that blossoming. And now we're going through this transformational process. And what's happening is this sort of like everything is coming within. So this is a process of looking within and making changes. And then what pops out of it, it's like instantly, there's like this, what looks like a dead flower, and then it just pops back into a new form that looks totally different. But that new form is necessary for it to continue to propagate. So this is a transformational process. This is something that I seldom have seen in my travels in New Thought churches in terms of the structure and the mindset that creates the kind of sustainable growth that you see in these very large churches. Now, not saying that every church has any desire or intention to be a megachurch. But the idea is, if you have a healthy church, if you have a balanced church, it's going to grow. And you can decide, you know, how big you want your container to be. You may be a church like Saddleback that has 20,000 people coming on Sunday. You may be a church like Life Church that has campuses that seat 300, and when it's full, they do a new campus, and a new campus, and a new campus. So it doesn't have to, you know, it can look however you want to look. The idea is, how do you create a healthy church? And you do it by creating connection from the grassroots up. So you need the leader holding the vision, holding you to the mission, creating the strategy and the infrastructure, and then a system where people can connect and build relationship and develop into leaders, those seeds that then go out and blossom on their own.